ಬಣ್ಣದ ಬುಗುರಿ ಆ ಶಿವನೇ ಚಾಟಿಕಳು.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಆತ್ಮೀಯರೇ, ಚಿನ್ಮಯ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಚಾನಲನ್ನು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಹಾಗೆ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುವ ಬೆಲ್ ಬಟನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಹ ಒತ್ತಿ.
We provide 1 lakh crore for aggregators, FPOs, primary agriculture cooperative societies, farmer producer organizations which I mentioned, FPOs, all for strengthening the farm gate infrastructure. Farm gate infrastructure are cold chains, post-harvest management infrastructure, storage centers, yards from where they have to do it. So this fund for 1 lakh crore is being created. Here private entrepreneurs, agricultural entrepreneurs, startups, all of whom are now looking at facilitating by procuring from the farmers and reaching out with value addition to the global markets, don't have the infrastructure. So this fund for 1 lakh crore will immediately address that issue, and that fund will be created at the earliest. Food enterprises who are micro in size, we shall be providing a fund of 10,000 crores. It's a scheme which will get executed with a cluster-based approach. I recall Prime Minister Modi when he spoke on the 12th of May, speaking about be vocal for local. This is one of the ways in which the local capacities, the local value-added product can have a global outreach, can reach out for global markets and build brands. They can create products of global standards, and therefore marketing them globally will also be assisted through this fund. Most of the products that we are aiming to deal with in this scheme will be related to health and wellness products, nutritional products, herbal products, organic products, and products which are now being used as alternatives for a healthy living. So this we expect will benefit 2 lakh MFEs, micro food enterprises. 2 lakh of them will benefit by bringing them up to that level, modernizing their production techniques, giving them capacities, branding their produce, and so on. But because it's going to be cluster based, I would want to broadly give you a picture of what we are aiming at. Let us say if it is Bihar, makhana is considered to be one of the very nutritious food without any calorie concerns. One can always use it as a snack. And therefore in Bihar the cluster would aim at makhana cluster. Kashmir would aim at Kesar, saffron cluster. Karnataka can have ragi and coarse grains, which is today considered to be the most healthiest alternative for gluten-rich wheat and rice. So the northeast will have bamboo shoots and organic fruits. Telangana can have turmeric. We are only suggesting this because turmeric latte is a big thing outside. Milk made out of whipping cream and turmeric. So turmeric is rich in this country. There can be clusters formed. And Andhra can do chilies. Tamil Nadu can do tapioca, sago, and whole lot of other things. I'm just giving examples. So the cluster based is going to focus on those organic and herbal materials or nutritional and health conscious wellness related food items in which India has a great strength. So this particular micro fund enterprises, which will have 10,000 crores given by the government, will aim at branding and promoting such clusters. The focus will be on women, focus will be on SC and STs, focus also, where possible, will be on aspirational districts. I forgot to add the states and the products. One Sampada, states which are rich in forestry produce, minor forestry produce, we can also have a cluster which will also benefit them. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana was announced during the budget, but clearly the amounts and the provisioning and also making sure that critical gaps are getting filled are all now getting through, and we are announcing it for execution immediately. What this would mean is for activities related to marine, inland fisheries and also aquaculture, this money would be provided. We expect it will give employment for about 55 lakhs of people, and it will help in doubling India's export to reach 1 lakh crores. We also hope that this will bring in better standards in traceability, laboratory networks will be provided, fishing vessels, new fishing vessels can be given for fishermen and so on, new fishing harbors can also be built, and during the ban period, in the sense not the COVID ban period, but every year fishermen don't go to the sea during a certain period. At that during that period also they can get some kind of assistance. So personal boat and insurance for boats, both personal and also both can be insured, insurance will be provided. So this we expect will lead to additional fish production of about 70 lakh tons over the next 5 years. Now everywhere, as I go on, I've done about 3, now I'll go to 4th, 5th and so on. Everywhere, the underlying principle is to empower people, give them resources so that they can produce for themselves and have a livelihood for themselves, rather than go only on entitlements. Where entitlements are due, yes, they will be given. But largely, our focus is making sure India stands up on its own, India is able to be helped to stand up on its own, in turn generate more jobs and so on. So you find a lot more giving of empowering people through creation of skills, creation of logistics and so on. Pradhan Mantri ji has been looking at the foot and mouth disease of animals. Many of our animals, because they have not been vaccinated, suffered from this foot and mouth disease, as a result of which many of our milk related producers or dairy or even animals which get infected could not be coming over to the markets. So farmers or animal keepers had a lot of suffering. So in order that we ensure 100% vaccination of all cattle, all buffalo, all sheep, all goat and pig population, nearly 53 crore animals. India is one of the largest livestock bearing country, and therefore for a country of that size with one of the largest stock of animal with us, FMD has to be eradicated. Therefore, till date, beginning January, in spite of the lockdown difficulties, 1.5 crore cows and buffaloes have been tagged and they have been vaccinated. So traceability can be established. Why am I saying this? This had a commitment of over 13,000 crores from January of this year. That amount is also flowing, and now post the lockdown, in the green zones at least, this work shall continue with great speed. This forms the basis for my next slide, which pertains to animal husbandry and the money which is being allowed for that building of capacities in animal husbandry. Animal husbandry, particularly dairy sector, can now really take the advantage of this kind of a activity which Government of India has done. Therefore, 15,000 crores will be spent for dairy infrastructure. This will help, and we also hope that many private investments can also come into this area, because it has great potential for export, great potential within India for the market. Various items, whether it is milk or powdered milk or butter, ghee, or even any cheese varieties which we need for domestic or for international consumption, are all possible. So we aim to support private investment also in dairy processing, value addition, and also for cattle feed infrastructure. Cattle feed is a potential area not just for India. Export of cattle feed also has a lot of scope. And therefore, Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund of 15,000 crores is being established, and that can work as as an incentive. We can also give incentives for establishing of plants, industrial plants for export of niche products, like the way I said, cheese or processed milk or milk powder or cream. Such units will have to be established which are scientifically done and standards can be established. So Government of India will also give incentives for such plants which will get established in India, where you have healthy animals, vaccinated animals, good milk being available. So dairy industry. This is a small matter, but of great eco significance, and it's going to help in agriculture in the future also. As it is in the Western world, we hear a lot of people speak how the disappearing population of the bee, the honey bee, has led to crops now suffering for want of pollination agents. So cross-pollination, which happens through bees, don't happen that much like before. As a result, beekeeping is an initiative which is recognized globally. It is an amount, but it is not a very big amount when you're comparing several lakhs of crores, but it is an amount which is important, that can be at a level of absorption capacity also. 500 crores for beekeeping initiatives, which will benefit 2 lakh beekeepers in the rural areas, and who can then produce ghee. Also, importantly, I'd like to draw your attention, in India today, wax for all purposes, edible, medicinal purposes, are being imported. Even that import of wax can be stopped. It may not be a big item like crude oil, but it is certainly important that the country will have to have its pollination agents, as much as give jobs for the rural women and beekeepers of both the genders, but also look at the way in which imports increase even due to wax. It's a small reference that I'm making, but it is an initiative which will have a ripple effect on the rural economy, and therefore government will implement a scheme for this, which will include marketing, which will include value addition, which will include post-harvest facilities for the beekeepers. Operation Greens is a scheme which is running at the moment to take care of tomatoes, onions and potatoes which are being cultivated, which come to feed the cities, and they've had very serious implication because they are perishable and they had to have distress sales. So farm level support needs to be given, otherwise such distress cannot be prevented. So the scheme features are such that they get 50% subsidy on transportation. They get also 50% subsidy for storage. This is a pilot which we extend for the next 6 months. It will be expanded and also be extended once the pilot phase is cleared. But this is something which has been given an accent now post the lockdown, because during the lockdown vegetables were perishing, cities were wanting to have it, logistics affected, so there was a break in the value chain. The Essential Commodities Act is an act which exists from 1955. This is an act which is very important, especially when it was promulgated during those days where food shortages were common. Indian farmers were trying to produce but not adequately because of the agricultural impetus which was needed was just then beginning to be given. But however, when in 1955 it was passed, and subsequently also, we had lived in days of shortages. Now what is happening is farmers are producing, there's abundance of crop. This abundance of crop sometimes also leads to issues because they would want to export. We don't permit them to export because we want to be sure that India prices don't go up. And because of the flip-flop, sometimes farmers don't get the benefit, some other times the consumers suffer. So this Essential Commodities Act requires an amendment. And that amendment will largely be towards making sure that cereals, edible oils, oilseeds, pulses, onions and potatoes will be completely deregulated. And therefore, unless there's an extraordinary situation, there will not be a requirement to invoke this Essential Commodities Act. Stock limits to be imposed will be imposed only under exceptional circumstances such as national calamities or famine, or if there is a huge surge in prices. Otherwise, there is no need for invoking it. So to that extent, limited to that extent, we would like to amend the Essential Commodities Act. No such stock limit shall apply for processors, because today value addition happens at the doorstep of the food processors. Suppose he's kept stocks, and if the Essential Commodities Act comes into force, even his premises are raided and whole lot of explanation is asked for. Even for food processing industry, it becomes a problem. So no stock limit shall apply to processors or value chain participants, or subject to the installed capacity. If they keep a certain quantity, that should be all right. Beyond the capacity is a different issue. So any exporter also will be given that facility so that export demand is not affected. Farmers' prices can be not affected due to uncertainty created by this. So there will be an amendment to the Essential Commodities Act.